Go get this party started. Welcome to the CFG Gamecast episode number 172, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Sundays and release on all podcast services at the beginning of each and every week. We are on all podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, and so much more. So show us some love, give us a favor, do us a like, give us a like on Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube, or follow on Twitch, or go to any website, go to our website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, David Screen, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
Oh, I didn't do a lot of gaming this week. So Smitty got hit with the COVIDs last week, and I tested like 3 times because I was having trouble breathing, and I was like, maybe this isn't allergies. But I had a cough. But you know when you're sick, like your cough it like doesn't taste good. Like you can tell you're sick. I didn't have that. It was just like this weird, like dry cough. And so I tested 3 times. I'm like, well, I was around Smitty. Maybe I did get the COVID.
Right.
But I didn't. It's just been allergies. And I had given my rescue inhaler because I have sports asthma, which basically means if I run for too long, you know, I might have an asthma attack. Nothing too crazy. But I don't play sports anymore. I don't do roller derby. So I didn't need an inhaler. And so I'd given my rescue inhaler eons ago to my brother Jared when he ran out, because for a while they didn't make those inhalers for some reason. But yeah, someone gave me an albuterol inhaler and now I'm okay. So now I know it was definitely allergies. So I think I played Tuesday. We played Demonologist. That was kind of all I got into. And the rest of the week I was like diamond painting in bed because I was not feeling good. But restarted Game of Thrones over again. On season 5. It's going great. And yeah, I've been helping my best friend move all weekend. So I've basically been deadlifting heavy furniture and taking apart bunk beds without instructions. So that was fun.
You know, it's like you're doing like everything that you're not supposed to be doing.
I know.
And it's like the whole sentence. Like I was just thinking, I'm like, you know, you're supposed to be lifting heavy objects.
Yep,
You're sharing inhalers, which is, I think it's gross.
No, it was a brand new one. It was a brand new one.
Okay, I'm like, man, what the heck is going
brand
on?
new.
It's like,
It's
Jesus.
fine.
It's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yep.
Well, at least it's just allergies. It could be a lot worse. At least it's not.
Yeah.
At least it's not what you thought it was.
Yeah,
Ooh,
because I thought
boy.
like maybe I'm coming down with bronchitis and it's just taken a while. But like I said, like, you know, when you're sick, you have that like yucky taste in your mouth after you cough. Don't have any of that. It's just like, it's almost like I swallowed my water the wrong way and now I can't stop coughing. It's kind of like one of those. But yeah, definitely allergies. And I blame the beautiful little yellow trees behind my house because them suckers cover my car. And the second I touch it and get into my car, then I'm a hot mess for like 30 minutes. So yeah,
That sounds about right.
Mhm.
I mean, it really does sound about right when it comes to allergies. So,
Yeah, this year's been bad. Apparently a lot of people who like never suffered from allergies previously are having trouble this year too. So at least I'm not the only one, but man, it's been rough. I've been in bed like oxygen at like 92. So
good night.
Yeah. Whoops.
Hey, but Lex,
Yeah.
you know who do you know who has been having some issues with Marvel Snap, but needs my assistance?
I do. He's been losing a lot. His name is
Look, the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat, and you know you can always ask for help, man. It's all good.
Filthy lies. Those are all filthy lies. Slanderous.
I can help you.
Slanderous lies from Davis. I don't
When
need
do
no
I not
stinking
help you? When do I not help you with it sometimes?
What are you talking about?
I remember I'm like, I don't like backseating, but sometimes I just can't help myself when I watch your games. Not just yours specifically, but just like, it's like, oh, I hope he goes this way. It's like, no, he's not. He's not going this way. I'm literally yelling at my screen sometimes when I'm watching his stream.
Davis, your entitlement is showing, my friend.
Entitlement is showing. Oh, that is
You know
funny.
what I did do other than catching the COVID is we did finish Breath of the Wild. So you guys will be proud of me for that. So that felt good to get that knocked out of the way. Other than that, though, I did start, and I know we're going to be talking about it here in a little bit, Jedi Survival. Obviously, I had to pick that up. I enjoyed Fallen Order a lot. So we're continuing the story with Cal and everything that's going on. I've been enjoying playing that. And then we got some Iron Banner in with Doc and Dirty Ramen Bowls. Played a little bit as well as Hambino. So it was a good time. It was nice to just...
Wow.
Yeah.
I have not heard him in a long time.
Yeah, cool. Dude. He's been doing his thing. He's been doing a lot of Red Dead Redemption RP and stuff like that. But he got back into some Destiny here last night. So that was cool getting to play with him as well. So overall, it's been solid. I'm just gearing up really for Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm going to try to grind through Jedi Survivor here. Like, I'm going to put some work in on that game here this week. I'm going to try not to sleep on it and just knock it out. So overall, it's been solid. The family's feeling better. I'm feeling better. So no complaints on our end.
Is Tears of the Kingdom this week?
Next week.
Yes.
It's the 12th.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my gosh, it doesn't even feel like it's coming.
There is, but Redfall comes out the 2nd. Redfall comes out here like Tuesday, I think.
No one cares about Redfall, dude.
Shut up, dude. I care about Redfall. I'm still going to play it. I talked about it. I'm still going to play it. I've got Game Pass. There's no reason why I'm not going to play it.
Oh, well, you're right. Yeah. There's no reason if you're going to get it on, if it's a day one.
I'm getting it on PC. Yeah, dude. I don't have an Xbox.
Same. I'm going to get it too. We can play together.
I've never owned it. Yeah. That's how I'm recruiting people to play.
He's never owned an Xbox. He's got a PlayStation 5.
Yep. I've never owned an Xbox, and I will never own an Xbox. I don't need to. I'll play Redfall with you guys. Now we got too many people.
Heck yeah, we got 3 people.
Now it's like, I've been looking for people. Whoa, guys, slow down.
Hold on. Everybody needs to slow down. I think we talked about this before, though. I think we talked about with Lex and Dust. And then I know that Sugar Cube had said something about it. And, oh gosh, who was the other person? I can't remember who the other person was. Somebody else said something about it too, though. Slow your roll.
Mind your business. That's all. Just mind your business.
Has yet to hit Dust up at all. No, I said something to you guys a while ago about it. We talked about playing Redfall together. I just wasn't sure where you guys were at.
No, we're getting it. Because I got Xbox Game Pass.
If y'all have Game Pass, if y'all got Game Pass, I might. Well, wait, no, I don't have Game Pass. Never mind. Actually, I thought I do. I think I do. I'll take a look at it.
He didn't even know. The man doesn't even know.
I don't even know because I don't really like. There's nothing on Game Pass that makes me care to be like, okay, here you go. I still haven't played Hi-Fi Rush yet. Like,
I haven't either, dude. Here's the thing about that, dude. Like, I don't know that I necessarily enjoy rhythm games like that. And I've never tried them, so I can't even, I don't even really know. I've watched Doc play some, and it seems complicated to me. And, again, when I play video games, I don't need all that, dude. Don't make me try to hold a beat and try to kill something. That's too much, man. I ain't here for that, bro.
You're asking too much. It's asking too much for you. I got you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a fun one, dude. I think you would enjoy it. I just didn't want to. I'm pretty sure I don't. Yeah. I just didn't really care much about it. It looks like a fun game. Don't get me wrong, but I just think that I was like, nah, I just didn't. I'll just take my time and worry about it later. But I don't. But as for Game Pass, I don't know. I need to take a look. I'm pretty sure I don't.
Now I'm curious. Did you ever get into Guitar Hero, Smitty?
I love Guitar Hero.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I have a couple rhythm games, and I thought it would be too complicated too. But you just murder them on the beat, which is kind of fun.
I think Guitar Hero would be worse because Guitar Hero was you had to move your some of those spots with the 5 because it's 5 buttons, and then you have to shift and stuff. With the fifth button on extra
musicians
mode.
Didn't have issues with it. It must be a you problem.
Smitty's not a musician.
I absolutely am. What are you talking about?
What? What would you play? What was it? Saxophone?
Saxophone, bassoon, a little bit of keys, some percussion.
No.
Yeah, dude.
So if anything, the rhythm should be no problem.
I'm not saying that it's a problem. I'm saying that it's more thought than I'd like to put into a game if I'm trying to relax. If I wanted to, again, that's the difference between me playing Overwatch competitive and me just playing Mystery Heroes. You feel me? One of them I don't really have to think on. I can just do things and let my
I
body
don't know
take
what Mystery
over.
Heroes is. What's Mystery Heroes?
Don't worry about it, dude. It's an arcade. It's an arcade version.
No, what's Mystery Heroes?
It's an arcade version. Yeah,
Every time
it's
you
almost
die,
like a gun
you
game,
come
but
back
like
to
with
someone
people.
random.
Yeah.
I don't play Overwatch.
I know. I forgot. I thought you were being facetious at first.
No.
I was about to body slam you.
I looked at his face. I looked at this dude at City's face, and he's like, "This guy." I honestly don't know. I never watched. I never played it.
Yeah, Mystery Heroes. You don't pick a character. Every time when you start, it's like a random person, and when you die,
I didn't mean for
you
my
come
face
back
to
as
do
a
that.
different person. Oh goodness.
Smitty's face immediately was like, "What's this?" Just goes into blind rage mode. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no frame of reference of what you're talking about. Man, golly.
Shame.
I don't know. That was freaking hilarious. That was great. Man, Smitty was about to be like, something's going to die tonight. It's not going to be me.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
That was great. Oh man. But anyways, as for me though, like I've been grinding it out on Final Fantasy 13. I've been doing some pretty good stuff. In that I am near the end. I know I'm near the end now. Now it's just a matter of me just trying to get strong enough to finish it up. Oh god. And then I'd also big shout out to Callista Canes who did a special stream for me on the CFG page on Friday showing the NIS game Process of Eliminations, which was actually pretty good. Looks like reminds me of Danganronpa a little bit. So that was actually a very fun stream. So excuse me, but next week we're going to be getting ready to play Jedi Survivor. I still haven't touched Jedi Survivor, but was going to play on doing it this following week live on stream, but then play some 13 and another special stream with another streamer on Saturday. So I'm actually going to be busy. I'm actually legitimately going to be busy. So Turducken saying watching a podcast to learn about games. Ask Smitty about a game. Don't worry about it. Yeah, he just totally shut me down.
That was aggressive. That was aggressive of me. I don't know what happened there. I went instant defense mode for some reason.
He just thinks.
I thought he was messing with us too, so don't worry.
I assumed that he knew what I was talking because, like, he knows I don't play. I play Overwatch. Yeah.
You played with us though, so you do.
That was
sort of.
one time.
He did play with us
twice.
one time.
Yeah,
twice.
Did he play with us twice?
I don't remember. But
Original
regardless,
Overwatch
I didn't know how to set it up or any of this stuff. I just played it. It's like, okay, here you go, and then I was done. And then like, okay, cool. It wasn't my cup of tea. Y'all the one that dragged me into playing it with y'all, so I didn't even want to.
Pretty sure that you offered. You were like, "I'll play with you guys." Once.
I said specifically that like I give you one time of my time, and then once I'm done playing with you, I'm uninstalling it. That's what I said.
He did. He did say that. I can confirm.
That doesn't make me the knowledge of the game.
I'm just saying you were the one that was like, I'll play with you one time and then I'm deleting it.
Yeah, but that doesn't make me know like, oh, these are all the modes, these are all the different kinds of things of all of this.
You should know better than that. Shame.
But anyways, we'll just go. I know y'all don't want to talk about us trying to figure out how freaking Overwatch works. So let's go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic of discussion in the world of video games each and every week. The topic would or could be a game or something that happened in the gaming news side of things. And we don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners, on Twitch, on YouTube, on on Facebook, on TikTok, on Kick, to be a part of the conversation. So if there's something you're wanting to chime in about, if you're wanting to talk about, to add something to the conversation, by all means, just type it inside the chat. We would love to talk about it with y'all. So let's get this party started with Lex this time. What are you bringing to the table?
It is my turn. So we had talked about the new Jedi Survivor game and everybody wanting to play it. Well, fun fact, if you were on PC, you might want to wait a little bit because there's a lot of problems. So, Jedi Survivor has been slammed on Steam for the performance issues, and I would like to give you a quick rundown of exactly what's going on. Please hold because there's a lot. PC performance issues include, FPS issues. So it'll be 30 frames per second and then jump to 90 and back and forth. So Survivor low frame FPS on console, Survivor stuttering, Survivor stuck unpacking slowly, Survivor stuck on loading screen, crashing your computer, not just the game, Survivor optimizing game files, Survivor screen tearing, Survivor cutscene bugs, Survivor crashing, Survivor
Is there a reason
broken
why there's a
HDR.
survivor in every one of these, or is there just a
Oh, I'm
like?
not done yet. Survivor HDR setting revert. EA app, your game failed to launch error. This game cannot be streamed live. Xbox bug. So I'm
Mhm.
not sure exactly why it seems to be. I mean, here's the thing, I haven't played the game, so I can't tell you exactly how it works. But it's not looking good. Now I have seen kind of a trend. So if you are wanting to get it on PC and you have an older graphics card, you may be in luck. And you might not run into as many issues. It seems people who are running a 4090 with epic settings and ray tracing are getting around 90 frames per second, which isn't bad, but there's a lot of frame stuttering, and it's quite frequent as well. So a lot of people who are running like 3070s and lower don't seem to be having as many issues as far as the frames per second, but they are still also suffering with the stuttering as well. Um, they released a day one game patch, and I'm assuming they're going to release more patches. But we've talked about this over and over again, how games have been releasing with frame issues, and they're releasing these games and they're just not ready. And we've talked about how we're willing to wait for them, but they don't seem to listen. And I was curious what you guys thought.
Go for it, Spinny.
Yeah, I was gonna say on my end. So we were taking a look at it because I was about to purchase it on PC live on stream, and I went to the Steam page and I saw it completely being eviscerated on there, and I'm glad I saw it because I would have been super salty had I gotten it and then had these kinds of issues. So I did end up getting it on PlayStation 5 instead, and I haven't had any kind of issues like that. I have, however, had it just completely bomb on me and crash in the middle of the game for no reason. And if you're not, like, you got to remember too, like, there's specific save points in this game. So, like, if it's been a grip, like, the first time it happened at the beginning of the game. So I had to start the game all over again.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
I absolutely, yes. Wow. I was like, okay, all right, that's okay. We didn't get too deep. It's all right. So we did it and whatnot, but like, overall, my experience has been a lot better. It's been a smooth run. I'm enjoying it. It's just, like Lex was saying, this seems to be a thing now where these ports, there's been so many PC ports, especially this year, that have come out that have been absolute dumpster fires when it comes to optimization, when it comes to, and like, those are things that you would think that they would get, be able to at least get pretty relatively close within their beta testing and stuff like that. You would think that that is something that is not necessarily going to be an issue, number one. And number two, this is also a single player game, okay? So they're not having to worry about any kind of multiplayer or any of that stuff. So and this game has already been delayed. So, like, to see that they're still having these issues on the PC port, you have a freaking 100 and something gig day one patch. That's ridiculous. If you're not hardline or don't have high-end internet, you are not going to be able to play the game for quite some time. Can you imagine the defeat of people with slower internet that was like, what, dude? Like, I'll be able to play this 12 hours later, maybe, or maybe the next day. It's just, again, it's disappointing to me to see this, because this is really a great game. I'm enjoying my experience with it. Like, they've really gone in and did some really cool changes in terms of customization, the fluidity of the combat that feels smoother and better. It's just all around a good, different story. Especially if you're a fan of Star Wars, we're getting some more lore outside of that main story, and I am definitely here for it. It's just unfortunate that, again, PC players, I mean, this is making it so more and more so I'm steering away from getting these PC ports and just to look to get them on console, just because I'm afraid, because it's a crapshoot when it comes to PC ports. You don't know if you're going to get something great, or, I'm not even going to pre-order. I'm just going to wait, let them iron out the kinks, on that first couple of weeks, and then you purchase it. Again, great game, but terrible. It's unfortunate to see a launch like this for it, especially on PC.
Does your natural react pull is to get the game on PC before you get it on console?
It depends. Number one, on what friends I think I'll play it with. If it's, if it's a multiplayer game, then that will determine what I get it on a lot of times, unless it's crossplay and it doesn't matter. But a single player game, for me, I just want to be able to enjoy it in the best way I can. I want the best experience that I can get. So I don't care what I get it on, especially on a single player game.
Well, I'm just finding it because, for some reason, I was thinking for this single player game, story driven game, means like you were planning on getting it on PC before you even thought about getting it on console.
Yes, and that was only because of graphics.
Okay, and okay, and what graphics were you running? You're running a 20 series, right?
2070, yeah.
Okay, so I was just wondering, because I was okay, that's cool. I didn't know that you would naturally went PC. I thought you would have went console first for it in this case, but but I mean, it's always it's always like a guessing game to figure out what game is going to come out on the PC. Like when it comes to a port of a game, or when the game comes out that is going to be on console and PC, the real question is, who is doing the port? If it's a direct port from the directly from the company itself, or if they leased out from a third party, like there's companies like Deep Silver and stuff that are known for making ports for a game for PC for other for another company's game and stuff. So now, what is worse to me is that this is EA. I mean, EA doesn't really have a good track record when it comes to doing things the straight way. So I'm kind of not surprised, but at the same time, it's still frustrating when you're especially this game is this is a AAA game. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, and so I don't understand how or what they did, or how it could be this bad when it goes into on one side on optimization. One of the things from one of the stories that I was actually reading was that the base, this game on a 40 series computer was eating up 21 gigs of VRAM.
Mm-hmm.
Just on VRAM. That means that your optimization is so screwed up that it's just the way it's being read on your computer is using a lot of resources. And I don't understand how they can just say, oh, okay, we didn't know this was going to be happening. We're going to have to wait for a day one patch. And even the size of the day one patch was pretty big, was bigger than normal from what I've gathered.
Yeah.
It's just, but we go through this. I mean, this isn't new. This always happens with stuff with these kind of games. We don't know what is going to happen until people are going to be complaining about it in the deal. And it's horrible for the game itself, because like I've said before in the past, video games have one chance, one time to give their perspective, or to say that this game is going to be a good game, or this game is going to be doo-doo water. I mean, this game, that's just basically what it comes down to. And it's I just think it's never going to change at this point. Because I was like, wow, this is bad. This is just bad optimization, and it's just, and I just don't understand what they were what the hell they were thinking about it. I haven't played the game yet personally, so I will admit this. So I don't know what to expect, and I know I wasn't going to get it on console or on PC first. I was planning on getting it on the consoles because I got the first one on console, and I like to kind of put them together. That's the only reason why. And PS5, and then PS5 has proven to me that the game, because of how M.2 is run on that system, it is very fast. So like I love how it's just kind of like you don't have to think. It just works. It just works. And
it just works. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I was just like, so I'm really looking forward to playing this game sometime this week. So yeah.
And just to be aware too, on top of a lot of the issues, people aside from that are not really liking the game. Now obviously we all have our own opinions and all of those things, but for a $70 game, and people are saying it's they had a formula and they improved it, so don't expect anything crazy. It's basically the formula they've been using for the past games. But a lot of people are complaining that the second half of the game, on top of the performance issues, like the pacing is awful and it's just not all that great. So
that's scary.
a lot of people are super disappointed.
I'm definitely gonna see. We'll see. We'll definitely see.
I'm gonna try to grind through it quick.
Because Smitty and I are going to be playing it. I know that, but and the first game wasn't that. I don't remember how long the first game was. First game was, I think, it was only like 12 to 13 hours long. So I think you might be able to knock this out within a week or two.
Right.
Well, people are saying about 18 hours. I mean, people have already gotten through the first play. Like they're already done with the first playthrough. And they're talking about, they're playing it again. So, I mean, I've already read
I love it. I hate this game. You're playing it again.
Yeah. Well, they're saying like, I'm done with the first playthrough with, the bugs and all of that. But that aside, here's what I thought of the game itself. So,
right.
And nowadays though too, when you hear bugs and stuff like that, it's very skeptical for people to put your money where their mouth is on like, oh yeah, there's a lot of bugs and stuff. People are spending. I mean, it's not cheap to buy games. I mean, and you're going to, if you're going to have issues like that, to be plaguing your game, you're going to be hurting your sales. And exactly what Dust is saying, because a lot of people, because a lot of people, I don't have a console to be able to buy this for. All the money went into the PC.
Right.
Like if the PC, and that's the case for a lot of people. It's like, you're going to tell a person, hey, let's spend $60 on this game. And then at the same time, oh, it's not optimized yet. So you're planning on playing a good game. And they're telling you, wait for the patches. On top of that, it's like, okay, so I'm not gonna dish out $60 for that. I'll wait.
Right.
Wait as long as I possibly can to get the best chance I can get before I start talking crap about this game, So yeah, it's
and they did. They did put out a I'm trying to see if I can pull it up real quick. They did put out a
release,
like a roadmap.
No, on Jedi Survivor, they put out I think EA put out a tweet about it. I'm trying to see if I can't find where they because they said something. Oh, here it is. So let me pull it up here. So yeah, they said, we are aware that Star Wars Jedi Survivor isn't performing to our standards for a percentage of our PC players. In particular, those with high-end machines or certain specific configurations. For example, players using cutting-edge multi-threaded chipsets designed for Windows 11 were encountering problems on Windows 10 or high-end GPU coupled with low-performing CPUs. Also saw unexpected frame loss. Rest assured, we are working to address these cases quickly. While there is no single comprehensive solution for PC performance, the team has been working on fixes we believe will improve performance across a spectrum of configurations. We are committed to fixing these issues as soon as possible, but each patch requires significant testing to ensure we don't introduce new problems. Thanks for understanding and apologies to any of our players experiencing these issues. We will continue to monitor performance across all platforms and share update timing as soon as it is available.
Thanks for understanding. I love that. It's like, what is that? What are you talking about? Like you're joking, right? It's like, it's just, I mean, it's easy for us to be throwing rocks at the glass house here, but still, it's just that, like, dude, you're telling a person that spent thousands, because it's not cheap to make this generation's computers. Like, you're telling me a person that has a high grade 4080, 4090 graphics card, high end parts, to specifically do one thing, and one thing awesome, which is making a game, but you're telling them we're having issues playing at the highest level that you're wanting,
Right.
but the lower levels are better. And then you're just basically saying, "Oh, but we're working on it, so stay tuned. Thank you for being patient." Don't that you know what you could have done? Don't release the game. Simple as that. Could have just said, "Don't release the game. Let it go on. Let it go out on consoles. If you know there's issues on freaking PC, let it out on consoles. Release it on PC later. Don't be pull this BS on that. That's infuriating. That's really infuriating to me.
Exactly.
It's like now that's freaking crazy. I'm sorry. We're gonna say
no. Turducken was saying maybe EA, being a AAA company, should do play tests. I mean, I imagine you don't even have to be a AAA company to do play tests. Like, that's the thing that trips me out. It's like, you guys should have already gone through this stuff. There's no way that they didn't know that this problem and these problems existed. I just can't. Minimum. You know what I mean? Like, I can't see how, if that is the case, that someone did not do their due diligence within their job, and somebody should be, you know what I mean? Like, this is crazy to me. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It is unbelievable. No, you're totally right. Like they can't think, pretend that this is an issue that just came out of nowhere. You know?
Right.
Yeah, they knew about this.
Yeah, infuriating. That's just. Ooh. Oh man, but anyways, yeah, but like, unfortunately, no, I'm a Star Wars nerd, so I'm definitely gonna be playing it. Can't wait to try it out. I'm gonna try it out tomorrow. I'm gonna live stream it on the Shameless Plug on this channel, CFG Games, and not tomorrow, but sometime in the week, and see how this game is gonna go, because I love the story of it. The initial story of it was great, and lightsabers. Come on, who doesn't like lightsabers?
But yeah, just a friendly reminder to EA: we're not your beta testers. If you want us to be, you should pay us. That's all.
I know, right? Or be on Twitter, just like, right? Unless you want the wrath of Twitter to keep on talking all this crap. But Jesus, anyways,
rightfully so.
Yeah, it's very true. Smithy, you are up. What are you bringing?
Yeah, I had to do an update on this. I know I touch on it here and there, but we're going back to, it seems right now that the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal might be kind of at a stalemate, a little dead in the water. It's not a complete wrap though, but the UK's essentially their boards and management, or it's the let me double check and just make sure, their markets authority, competition and markets authority, have basically said that they are looking to stop this merge, because what they believe is that it will give Microsoft too much of a lead in cloud gaming. This is kind of weird, because we know that cloud gaming has a very small market share right now. Do I believe that it's the future of gaming? Absolutely. Everybody is going down that path. We're seeing more and more of it, but it's not there yet. So what they're essentially saying is that when it does go to more of cloud gaming and more people are doing cloud gaming, that then Microsoft would have too much of a lead over everybody else, and essentially they would have too much of a market share having that in. What Microsoft has been trying to do with their, and they actually recently just signed these contingent deals. Basically, if this deal goes through, they are going to be sharing the Call of Duty IP, Activision Blizzard games, with these other services. NVIDIA GeForce is one of them. We know that they just made a deal. There's a company, I can't remember the name of it. It's like Vera or something like that. It's a UK-based cloud company. They do something very similar to GeForce now and all that stuff. They've signed an agreement with them saying that they will give them did a 10-year deal where they would have access to these games to be able to run them on their platform. So essentially what Microsoft is trying to do is show that, look, we're not trying to stop this. We want everybody to be able to play these games anywhere, blah, 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 yada, 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 right? And the government is essentially saying that no, because you guys will have too much of a share once cloud gaming is more of the norm as opposed to it being niche right now. So it's not completely dead in the water in the fact that Microsoft has the ability to appeal. They're still basically what their government is looking for is them being like, here's what we're doing now. That way that's not going to be a problem. So maybe this deal with that UK-based company, since they're dealing directly with a part of the government for the UK, that will be enough for them approve it. I think also they also have issues in Canada as well. Canada's another place that has said something about this deal too. So there's more roadblocks that they're gonna have to go through. I don't think the deal is completely dead. I think they just have to make more of these. Here's these preemptive deals that we're going ahead with that is going to allow it so that we don't have a monopoly with the cloud gaming. It's kind of, this is a weird situation in how they're looking at it in terms of the market share and how big really, because a lot of the stuff that they're looking at is Call of Duty, where Microsoft is saying, and obviously this is their talk. They said they're looking more at the mobile side of the advantage, which again, yeah, exactly. This is about Call of Duty.
Okay, yeah.
So I just want to see what your guys' thoughts were. If you guys think that now the government too does not have a very favorable track record of switching up on appeals, so they've got an uphill battle to go if they're going to get the UK government here to budge.
I mean, like, I don't know what to really think, because you remember, it wasn't even that long ago. I'd say like 2 or 3 months ago when what country was it that was holding them back because that they ended up passing it through.
I think it was Brazil, right? Or
yeah,
no,
so,
that's
yeah,
how the stuff came out, was from Brazil originally, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah, because but whatever it was, they did clear that out, but then they were able to pursue to the next level and stuff, and it's really weird because, like, I mean, I'm not a smart dude. I mean, but when it comes to this stuff, because I mean, dude, it's like to make a merger, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Right.
It's a lot that goes through all of this, and these things, like, there's a lot of things that you could easily miss, especially if you're outside and you're looking into it, like to the inside, like what we are in a way. Like, I didn't even think that like they're worried about a monopoly for cloud computing gaming.
Right.
That was not the first thing that came across my mind when they decided to get Activision Blizzard to be on board of this. I thought most people weren't on board of it because they felt that Microsoft is literally gobbling up big third-party companies, and they're and eventually you're saying that the one place to play will be on an Xbox or a PC kind of thing. But now when they're saying like mobile and all this different kinds of deals, I'm like, wow, okay, I didn't even think that this was going to be a big deal, but apparently it must be if they're raising these kind of levels, these kind of flags. And personally, I mean, I personally have always was never on board on this merger because I've thought that it was the same kind of it's the same dance that Microsoft tries to do. They try to buy these companies up, and then they try to say it's going to be a part of Microsoft's ether, and then it comes to find out that that nothing really changes. Like, they're still having issues with first party support, first party games on their own side, and then they're just doing the same mistake over and again, which is just keep on buying out third party companies. Just make your own freaking company or something, and leave other people alone. But nope, okay, whatever. But yeah, so to be honest with you, I really don't know. I mean, like, I don't know what to expect on this. I really would hope that they're going to stay strong in their lane on this, and then have Microsoft to convince them that this is what they're planning on doing and stuff. Because for the most part, when they were especially with the Call of Duty franchise, they've been dangling that they weren't really, like specific on what they were planning on doing, like how are they going to share, quote unquote, share it with people that are not under their ether besides Nintendo. Besides oddly
They
enough,
said Nintendo too. Yeah, Nintendo is another one.
Yeah,
which is odd, but like still, it's just like it's very odd. This whole dance is just so weird to me. Like what the heck is going on? So I mean, I'm going to be observant to see where they're going to go with it, but for the most part, like I'll see it till I believe it, because I feel like, dude, this is a very powerful company. I feel like the power of money is going to be behind them, and I won't be surprised if something's going to change on their end.
I feel like a lot of it is just the government's making sure that they get their piece of the pie within the thing. You know what I mean? And it always, I mean, for like anything else, basically, follow the money, see where the money goes. You'll see why decisions are being made and stuff like that.
Yeah. So,
very true.
Yeah, so I mean, like, what about you, Lex? What do you think?
So a couple things. Ducky in the chat said, well, if not, then just go without the UK. I don't know if that's how that works. Unfortunately, I think with a merger like this, everyone kind of has to be on board with it, or it can't happen, if I'm not mistaken, just with the way that the contract is written. I could be wrong.
A process, depending on the size of the company, it really depends on your size of your company. If your company is a fair size, that's going to affect not just your local, like if it's going to internationally affect like the levels of business, then there's actually the process is very there's a process, like a 7-point process, which is why it takes like a year for big mergers to happen or buyouts to happen, because they have to go through a rigorous detail through 7 or 8 different agencies that's international. And if all those interagencies are not if they're not on board, it's all or one, it's all or none. So if one is off, then it will not work. Yeah, exactly. It's very interesting.
Yeah, and he was saying, well, they'll take a huge hit, but they've got China and the rest of the world. Again, the way that the contract is, it's all or nothing, unfortunately. Well, I guess I don't know if I feel that the merger should even happen, if I'm being honest. I'm just kind of like watching. I don't have a piece of this pie, so I'm kind of on the outside looking in, just curious as far as how this is going to affect the gaming industry. A couple other things. Dust had said they're using the mobile avenue to block the merger because it's the lowest hanging fruit that they can use. The main issue is the concern you brought up. It's all Microsoft if they can kill the other platforms. But Microsoft has had a pretty good track record of coexistence with other OSs and platforms. They're not out to eliminate competition. They're out there to wait until a competitor figures something new out, and then they steal / rebrand and outsell them, which I don't disagree with. But like you said, again, I don't really have any stakes in this. I don't play Warzone. I don't play any of like those games anymore. I'm not a huge fan of Blizzard, and we've discussed why on here several times. I just, I feel like Microsoft is just doing it because, again, they want a piece of the pie. But if everybody's not on board, this merger is not happening. So, and like Smitty said, appeals aren't really satisfactory is not the word I'm looking for. Trying to get them to reappeal it is going to be a huge uphill battle, and the likelihood is like basically none that it's going to change. So I don't know. I'm just kind of intrigued by like the business aspect of it, as far as like how it will affect the gaming industry and cloud gaming and so on and so forth. I don't really care about it all that much, but I do find it fascinating.
I think that it's a big deal though. Like,
I'm not saying it's not a big deal. I know it is.
No, I'm talking about for the gaming side. I'm not saying that you didn't. I'm just saying that like it's like, I think, to be honest with you, this is something that people should focus on, because when you really think about it, dude, like look in the past couple of years. I mean, they bought a big company to a point. Yeah, they bought Bethesda. They bought freaking Obsidian. Obsidian, who was the competition of Bethesda for their what was it called? What was the name of the game? I cannot remember the name of the game. It was like Morrowind and all that stuff, but better. But anyways, there was a competition directly to Bethesda, and they bought that out. They also bought now you're buying
Outer
another
Worlds,
person's Outer Worlds. Thank you. Yeah. So then, they bought the competition to the company that they just bought, that has a giant library too in itself, which itself. They also now planning on buying another ridiculously large library that's going to be all under Microsoft's flag. Towards all of this. So I think that overall, and then throughout this process, and like I said, this isn't new for Microsoft. They've always done this, which drives me insane. That they've done it, because you remember Lionhead Studios? They're the people that did Fable, created Fable. They've been around. They were around until Microsoft they shut that down. Freaking Ensemble Studios, the people who did Halo Wars, shut down. They decided to buy that company out. Then they shut it down. Digital Anvil, same kind of crazy stuff. I mean, there's a ton. They have a roadmap of all of buying and then closing these studios and mixing it all in. But the fact of the matter is, they still have all their IPs. Under Microsoft's thing. And then I think that as a gamer, you're telling me that you're you can't just openly unless they give you the okay. Can you imagine if EA was behind that and they will be like, nah, we're not going to do this kind of deal. Microsoft has the power to do that. I mean, I don't like that, and I don't like that. I mean, that drives me insane with it. So it's ridiculous. And Dustin's saying, well, they shut Lionhead down because that dude Peter is an absolute madman. It doesn't matter. Peter was a madman, but Microsoft owned that studio,
right?
They made the executive decision.
And he also made good points. He said Microsoft saw Bungie doing something new with Halo. They gobbled them up, rode the gravy train until profit margins dipped, and then they spat them back out as 343 Studios when they were done with them. So again, this merger, there's not a lot of games in it that I play, and so but again, if you're in the gaming industry and you're part of it, whether you're a content creator, a streamer, or as far as the back end, it is very interesting because, like David said, there's a lot of things that could happen here, and bigger,
biggest, I was gonna say, two of the biggest, Call of Duty and Candy Crush. Those are huge games. Candy Crush is huge in the mobile market, has been for years. You know what I mean? Those are significant chunks, you know what I mean, in two different pieces of the pie. All Microsoft has to do is look, dude, we just want them. We're not gonna shut anything down or close things off for people. But I can see where this is definitely something that needs to be questioned, because, and especially as we move forward after these 10-year agreements that they have, what does the landscape look like by then? By then, in 10 years, cloud gaming is going to be a lot more popular. So, by the time those contracts run out or whatever, they're going to have a hell of a lot more leverage, especially if this merger goes through. So, me for one, I'm glad that folks are looking at it. I don't know if the intentions are true from the 100%. Government, or if they're just looking to be you gotta sweeten this pot a little bit before we push this through. And that's my guess, is more of that situation than them not allowing this, because money talks, baby. Money talks.
The government's you can put that check to cash.
Yeah.
That kind of level. Yeah. I mean,
you can Venmo me.
Yeah. I know, right? It's
do you have Zelle?
Zelle? I don't have Venmo, but I do have Zelle. Zelle, name of company, Zelle's name, Cash and 555. Yeah, but I mean, you're totally right, and it's totally right, and I really think that's why I'm not. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really. I won't be. I'm not gonna be mad about whatever happens, because it doesn't really matter. Whatever happens is gonna happen. So it's no spilled milk on my side. But at the same time, it's I do want to be observant of what I'm doing. For instance, I'm not I'm personally doing a boycott on Activision Blizzard games. Like even though Diablo 4, I really want to play that game. I'm not touching it until one person gets out of this the company. But but overall, like I just think that I think that the whole thing is just like with how everything is. I'm not a fan of how Microsoft is doing this. I never was a fan of how Microsoft. I was never on board with Microsoft when they said, "Hey, Blizzard going to take Activision Blizzard." The good side is that they were going to kick out the whole staff of the whole upper management of Activision Blizzard. But at the same time, I'm like, I wish it wasn't them that was doing it. Like,
right.
Yeah. I wish it was what was the name of the group that owns all these different IPs, but the sneaky the sneaky group that owns so much.
Every time, not the Eraser group, the
Embracer.
Yeah.
It's not Eraser.
Yeah,
it's
Embracer. Yeah. Yeah, you're real close. Hey, it kicked it up for me to be like, oh yeah, that's right. You're right. It's Embracer. Yeah.
Like I know it's not this, but I'm gonna say it because I feel like it's close to what it is. Somebody.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Embracer Group. Yeah. Embracer Group is the one that's like people need to keep an eye on too, because Embracer has a ton, and they are like, yeah. So I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't mind Embracer doing it, to be honest with you, if they had that kind of cash. But like, because they are truly neutral, in my opinion. They're just there to make that profit, to make that deal. They don't care if it's going to be exclusive on the system or whatever. Right. But like, I'm just saying that like that kind of thing, I wouldn't have spilt milk over as much as I would to say that Microsoft's going to take this over. So. Right. But we'll see. I mean, it's just a matter of we'll see. Like you say, we'll see what the intentions are for the government that's holding them back. Because you're right, you can't really trust the government when it comes to they just want more of a piece of the pie or whatever what their intentions are for it for doing it and stuff. And yeah. So it's just all big money, and we're just looking on the outside of all of that. So. Alrighty, I'm going to close this up and talk about a person that we haven't talked about in a long time. He's kind of disappeared for the most part, you know. So Ninja, you know, Fortnite dude that was super popular about 5 years ago when Fortnite Battle Royale started happening. Ninja is kind of says that he announces a new project called Project V, which is going to be a battle royale game built in an Unreal Engine that he's working with other content creator stars, Nick Merckx and Tim the Tatman and several more. So I'm like thinking to myself, oh God. I was like, Jesus, okay, let's see where this is gonna go. So they said that they recently did like a Twitter post. He did a Twitter post on the name of the Twitter was Project V, says that the next battle royale will be built by the players coming in 2024. So apparently if it's coming in 2024, he's been working on it for a while. At least I would hope so. But on top of that though too, I'm like, dude, like from what we've seen on what battle royale games have been, like they literally come and go. Is it going to be enough that's going to keep people's interest to make it to be a staple? I guess the person that would know that would be Ninja, since he was like, you know, he really helped bring, you know, Fortnite to the forefront at the time. But maybe it's it's going to be hard to kind of keep up to see if people are going to be carrying more than a year, because it seems like these games literally their shelf lives for most of these newer games are less than a year, you know.
Oh yeah. So, no, we've talked about it. There have been good battle royale games that have come out in the last year that are now their servers are being shut down. And you know, even if you have a big name, you have a big stake in that community, I don't know if that's enough to keep your game going. Again, we haven't heard from Ninja. What platform is he streaming on now? I don't know. I haven't seen him at all. Granted, I don't follow his YouTube channel, but he's been non-existent for the last like 2 years. So you know, even again, we've seen so many battle royales close down and their servers shut down, and they were great games and they were made by big companies. So you know, I don't have high hopes, sorry, but it's not.
Here's the thing I feel that you guys are underestimating is that
Okay.
these people's audiences are massive. That alone will carry this game, whatever it is, to its popularity, especially with them already having a stake in it. They are just leveraging their own audiences for this game. I agree with you guys 100%. I feel like the fizzle of BRs has definitely, for the most part, worn out. But even though we don't necessarily see Ninja's still putting out numbers. He's still out there doing things and whatnot. I know that Nick Merckx has a huge freaking audience. Cypher has a huge audience. All those dudes, Tim the Tatman, every single one of those people in their own right has their own. Those are huge players in this, and I'm talking about a ton of kids. Their audience members are a ton of kids as well.
I'm not saying they don't have big audiences. I'm just saying, is that going to correlate? You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
I'm sure like there's gonna be a big boom and the game will take off, but how long until it fizzles out?
Well, first off, before you go any further, I will say to Doc though, the Midnight Society that you're asking, it's called Midnight Society. That is not the same game, because Midnight Society is the game that I believe Dr. Disrespect is doing on his own personal studio.
That's what he was talking about. What's the Dr. Disrespect game?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Project V. So there's two different. Okay, so there's gonna be. So first, right off the bat, don't get me wrong. There's two BR games that's coming out, Midnight Society, and then there's gonna be whatever Project V is gonna be theoretically. Don't get me wrong. I think that it is going to be big when it comes out, but then it comes to Lex's point of like saying sustainability. How long is sustain? Is this going to stay or continue to keep the magic going for in a 6 months to 8 months time, or a year or whatever, to that look of it? That's where it gets kind of fizzly, because I think that it's going to make their numbers initially, because I mean, look at what happened with the Multiverses was freaking piping hot to a point, and then 6 months later 0% were playing it on Steam. That's insane. That kind of level of stuff is.
But these people have a stake in this game, so there's no way that they themselves will not be playing the game. Therefore, they are constantly pumping this game out to people, and to their large audiences that they have. There's no way that this game would fail as long as they're still a part of it. To me, it just seems like Fortnite on steroids with better graphics. And we've seen some Fortnite UE or Unreal Engine 5 demos, and the shit looks dope. So if they're able to capture that stuff, leverage their audiences, and I agree with you guys. I think that is the typical, especially BR freemium model is definitely dying out. However, I think this is an exception, particularly because of their audiences. And if they're able to leverage their audience, I think people will keep playing it. They are basically looking to make a new, what it seems to me is like make a new version basically of Fortnite, utilizing all those elements within Fortnite that make Fortnite great, but in an updated graphics, these guys basically pumping it out to their audience. I think that this will be huge, even if it's a pile of dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that it's going. I think it's going to be a little bit of a win, a little bit of a I don't think longevity. See, but I just don't know. Like Dr. Disrespect, I can kind of understand more, because he's really hasn't disappeared. Like even though he got kicked from Twitch, and he's doing it from YouTube, he's still just as strong. He's I don't know. I don't know his numbers now to what it was like 2 years ago, but he's still relative, inside that kind of news, especially since he knows that he was going to be doing it when he created his gaming studio and doing all this crazy stuff. But it's hard to argue. I don't know if I have that same kind of optimism about it, even though that they do have a strong cast of content creators that know this stuff. Like
clip this moment
on the back of the hand. I know you're right. So you can so you'll be
so when it happens, I can run.
So you can see I'm right. So you can see I'm right. Yeah,
when it happens, I'm gonna run this back.
I don't like it. Yeah, we would have to wait a year and see if it's going to be relative. And I just don't think so. You know.
Well, but you also have to think about this too. So even though they're content creators and they themselves will be playing the game, right? They built their audience playing specific games. So when they switch to this new game that they've created, will all of that audience stick around? No. Will they gain new audiences? Sure. But like we said, I don't know if that's enough as far as longevity is concerned. I think I don't know it. Like, great, you have a built-in audience. They're probably going to play it too. How long does that last?
But these creators transcend what game they play. Okay.
I don't
look at like MFAM stuff and whatnot. They had a whole ass thing down at TwitchCon. I know, Nick Merckx. They've got dude is huge, and his fan base is huge. I know, that's fine. If you guys don't know, I'm telling you straight up, these people transcend a typical content creator. It doesn't matter what they're playing, what they're doing. The people are there. They have built huge communities of people. But
it's not with the game though. Like, I don't think. But do you think? But I mean, even you're right.
If they're playing
the individual, the individual is what people are there for. But logically, I don't think that they're going to be like those same people are not going to be sticking to the same game for like the whole for 8 months to a year at a time. Because I mean, like, Disrespect was known for his plays in Call of Duty or all that stuff, but he didn't just sit there. He moved around. So let's say theoretically that they decided to move around, even though they have a leg to stand on in the game with their own created game. So the second that they decide to switch to a different game, like, would the game be strong enough for them to hold its own? And that's where I kind of feel like being creators and stuff, being hype personalities. If they're wanting to keep that game to be relevant, they're going to have to constantly play that game like a lot to it, which will probably happen at the first beginning of the year. But like, let's say let's wait a year. Throughout that year, let's wait the back end of the year. Is that strength still there? Even though that they may play it less, or if they switch to something else.
I feel like that implies that they're going to put out a shit game though. And I don't think that,
I don't mean
as players, if they're able to, again, they have to, the way I see it too, a game is also successful based off of, how innovative it could be as well. We know that the BR genre is super saturated. So you've got to do something more than just be, a reskin of Fortnite or whatever.
Hold on one second, because you had mentioned that they're building it with Unreal Engine. Now, let's clarify. Fortnite uses the Unreal Engine. Now, I thought it was just Unreal. They're saying no. It's in creative mode in Fortnite. So it's still in the Fortnite universe that this game is being created.
Shit.
Which is totally
if that's the case, that's gonna be crazy.
So this is like almost like a Roblox situation where they're building a game within a game, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
it's like Fortnite.
It's in Fortnite.
Well, because technically, Fortnite is made by the company that created the Unreal Engine, which is Epic Games.
Exactly.
So Epic Games is going to switch into it, but so it's being powered by the same engine within Fortnite, but they're not. But it's still a standalone game. It's not necessarily going to be. It's not like being built in, like not like
it's in Fortnite. It's built in Fortnite. Yes.
Right. So wait. Inspired by the launch of
log into Fortnite.
Wrap your head around that for a second.
Wait, it says it's using UEFN, which is that the engine that Fortnite's using?
No, Fortnite is using Unreal Engine.
That's what it is. UE is Unreal Engine, but FN it has to be Fortnite. Yeah. But like what does that? Fortnite. What does that engine entail? Does that mean that it's inside the Unreal editor for Fortnite? So that's what that is. So it's using the engine called Unreal Editor for Fortnite. Is a version of an Unreal Engine with customization and it support creation of the content for Fortnite. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's in Fortnite. That's what I'm saying.
No,
it's like
they're all saying it is.
Ducky is saying that it is in the creative mode.
It is. So basically, you'll log into Fortnite, and then you will go into that mode to then play what they've
to get
created.
into. It's like Roblox,
Right.
where you have basically Roblox becomes a server where you host all these different games and stuff like that, and
Right.
they are building a game within that server essentially, utilizing UE5.
Here it is, though. I'm on Epic's game thing right now, and it says with it, you can create props and devices for Fortnite that push the boundaries of the creative tool set. UEFN and UE share many tools, but there are differences between the two. Is that UEFN is built specifically for Fortnite, but it's a standalone tool. It's a standalone tool that is outside of it. So essentially, it's an app. It's a playground that it's meant specifically for Fortnite, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is Fortnite. Is what I'm saying. So it's not being built in like what they do with with Roblox. That means you would have to get in Roblox to create the game. But they're not doing that. They're using a tool that is built specifically for a game, and it's going to probably look similar to the game, but it's not Fortnite. Is what I'm saying.
Well, didn't that thing say it can be used standalone? So that doesn't confirm that it's not built in Fortnite.
Well, we don't even know because this is all early. This is all early phases. People,
right?
We're all assuming. I didn't know when they said UEFN. I didn't want to assume that it was being built inside Fortnite, which I don't think it is.
I'm just going off of what Ducky said.
It is.
Ducky, can you cite where you got that information from?
Yeah,
because Ducky's saying that it. No, I mean Ducky. Ducky's saying that Ducky is saying that it's being created in creative mode. It's my understanding.
It's not in creative mode. It
can be a standalone. Yeah. So neither has been confirmed whether it is or is not. Essentially,
that's why I was just saying. That's why I was, That's why I didn't want to say it was because I was like, because I'm not really like I wasn't 100% sure. This is real early on the announcement, and especially with for it to be an Unreal Editor. Who the hell? Like it's hard to even to be 100% to verify to be 100% truthful unless they give us more information. So until they give us more information, that's why I was like, okay, it's being used by the UEFN engine itself. So yeah.
Right.
So, well, no. If you give me the source, Ducky, but like I said, hey, I may be wrong. I'll own up to it. But there's nothing to show to say that it's going. They're going into Fortnite, and then they're doing some editing into it. So that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm finding things that do confirm what Ducky's saying.
Well, show me the links towards it, because
put them links in chat or something.
I am on Epic Games dev community, and I'm also on Epic Game what this engine is, because I really want to know.
Well, IGN is talking about
wait. Let me but we'll do it. We'll do it off. We'll do it off for the end of the episode. But we'll close it off. Yeah. So
I gotta run.
Yeah. Folks, thank you for talking to episode number 172 of the CFG Gamecast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. As always, we will be back again next week with some more awesome content and stuff. And we'll have a new segment called "Prove Davis Wrong." Who knows? We'll see.
Also in a year, stay tuned.
I know, right?
Clip it,
right? But But if you did miss out on this episode, you could always check us out on all podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, so much more. So there is absolutely no reason to miss out on all sexy voices. Oh yeah. Guys, thank you so much for the conversations, and as always, we'll be sure to go check out our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to check out some of the awesome cool reviews and other content that we like to place. So once again, this is Davis, Lex, and Smitty signing off. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.
Okay, send the links. I just want to see this.
I closed it out.